Hi guys, my name is Pintu Mondal, and in today's video I'm just going to share my experience of started to reading book. Back to like 4 or 5 months ago also, I was not a reader. I hate reading, but now I can say I love reading because a lot of things has been changed in quarantine. I mean, my life was perfectly fine before quarantine, and in quarantine, my life is fine though. But I have upgraded some of my habits. So, reading books is one of those habits that I have improved, that I have upgraded. So, I will suggest you to give it a try. Just give it a try. You will like it. So the first things is when you are started getting started with reading books, you should if you are absolutely new in this field, then you should go with the short stories first, because short story is short obviously. So you don't need to like think like that. When you got a like 100 pages or 1,000 pages books, you feel like, okay, how I'm going to read this book that has a lot of pages, and you'll lose interest by watching that book even. So short stories is far more better than that. When you are reading that, you feel like, okay, this is so short, and that will be so different from one another. Like one short story is very different from other. So you can start it by reading the short stories, then go you can upgrade that from novellas, and from novellas you can eventually go to the novels. So that's how you can start by reading short stories. And one more thing, that don't read a non-fiction book at the very uh, first stage of like started reading. When you're started when you're getting started with the reading things, you don't want to read a non-fiction book, because non-fiction books is always tells you about the that is the self improvement book, that will tell teach you about your finance, how to manage your finance, how to improve your life, how to be self disciplined and all. So in that case, you will lose interest in that book day by day, when you will not be able to, if you are cope up, you can cope up with that book, and if you feeling that interest for that book, that it is well and good. But if you are a like first time reader, you might be lose the interest in that book if it's a non-fiction. So go for a fiction book first. Don't go for non-fiction first. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second things is you know upgrade, improve that habit of reading. So we always used to, what you used to do is go to the bed with mobile phone, waking up with mobile phone, cell phone. And instead of mobile phone, I would suggest you to change it with books. So instead of mobile phones, keeps your books handy. So when you are going to sleep, place your books instead of mobile phone. So read before sleep, read after waking up. And like when you used to use your mobile phone, use the book. Okay, so that's the next things you can do. Is it's very interesting. I mean, when right now I can't even go to sleep without reading 1 or 2 pages of any books, because that's a habit now. So its habits only take 21 days to build. So if you're trying to get to the habit of reading, try to read books before sleep, and try to read books after waking up and getting fresh. And then you have a very cool mind that time. When you wake up in the morning, you have a very calm mind. You have no tension. There is no that many noises. So for reading books, that's a very good time. We used to wake up early when I was in school. I can still remember that I used to wake up early to read books, because that is like less noisy. And when you are reading books in that time, you can remember it much better. So read books after waking up as well. And the third thing is read in your free time. Now we do have a lot of free time. when we are traveling, when we are in quarantine, when we are in a situation where we're stuck, we can't do anything. Instead of like wasting your time in social media, keeping updated with the news feed, please read a book instead of that. That is much more beneficial than that. So please do that when you are free. Don't waste your time in social media. Instead of, you can just read a book. That will improve your vocabulary, that will give you a lot more benefits in your life, that will add value in your life. So instead of wasting your time, start using your time. That's the third thing, that read books in your free time. And that's what I did. And I used to read when I used to get some free time. When now I am in quarantine, so I am spending all of my day like reading books and all, because that's the best things I feel like I can do now. And and that will help you to be a fond of reading book. So start reading, at least give it a try, guys. You try, buy one book. And some of the beginning book you can choose, like the boy in the striped pajama, the blue umbrella by Raskin Bond. And I can suggest you that too. And that two are very good book. And there is much more YouTube videos, that books for beginners you can see on their channel. There is like you can also, the four things are that you can also follow that booktuber and like book Instagrammer. You can follow them on social media, and they will encourage you to read books. Because when you are following them, you are telling yourself that okay, now you need to get to the habit of reading, because they are reading book. And every successful people in the world, everybody read books. And there might be something, right? That's the way of improving yourself, that's the way of learning while you are not in school or college. Because learning is essential for everybody. If you stop learning, you are not growing from that stage. So obviously fiction will not take you there. For if you want to learn something, if you want to improve something, you have to read the non-fiction self-improving book, and that will help you a lot. So read some of that books. And fiction is not like a bad thing. If you are wasting your time in Instagram, instead of that, if you are reading a fiction, that is much more beneficial. So that was my suggestion, guys. I don't have much to say. That is the thing that I can say. And thank you for watching this video. Please hit the thumbs up button if you like this video. And please let me know in the comment section that if you started to reading finally, and if you are getting fond of books. Because it's happened to me, like, unfortunately. I mean, it's very, I was not expecting that thing should could be happen, but that happens for me. I hope it will happen for you. You will be a fond of reading books. And all the best for your next book. Thank you.